Hi everyone. This pine needs to be worked on today, and my camera person isn't available, so you'll notice we're shooting from a single fixed camera angle. I'm doing a tripod shoot. This is my logo tree, and we've worked on this one before on various videos. It's spring now, and the tree is candling, and so we need to do some decandling and spring pruning, and that's what we're going to work on today. So let's get started. Now, we're going to use the small pine shears here, and in the cases where we have branches that are extending too far upward, we're going to go back to last year's needles like this. And I'm going to start by looking at the front of the tree, which is facing me right now, and anything that is obviously too long or extending too far upward, we're cutting back. It's important to be very careful with this. Here we're going to go to here. And here we have quite a cluster of buds, and we may want to wire this branch downwards. So we're going to take off one of the larger shoots and leave the smaller ones. And we have some dead needles here that have to come out also. Now we'll go over to this branch. Just go right in. And here we've got the tree doing these flower pollen things. These are not good because they take away from needle growth. So just go right off to there. Overly long candles like this, you can just remove the candle, but if you leave too many needles below it, you're going to get too much growth. So in my case, we're going to take off some needles below the camera too. And in some instances, we're actually going to go back into last year's growth. Now these small candles we can leave because they're not going to produce a huge spray of needles, but on a longer one like this, we may want to take it off, and then we'll get some nice secondary budding later. So here, we're going to leave some needles here, come down to there, and on the terminal growth, we've got to take it back, because there's too much growth there. Now you cannot cut back to bare wood on pines. The needles serve to pull sap to fuel future growth, so you have to leave some greenery. And then we're just going to kind of go around this branch. Now here, this one's getting kind of leggy, so we're going to take that back. Come back in here. Now some of these inner shoots you may just want to remove the candle and a few needles because they're not real strong. Here we are, we've got another strong terminal bud here, but we've got to leave some needles, so we'll go in like that. And then here it's getting a little bit long back here, so we'll come down in there and take that one. And this one we'll just remove the candle, and we're about done with that branch. Now we'll go back here to the first branch, which is very strong, and we can take off somewhat more foliage. So we're just taking off. And we want to go in and see what you have and where it is. This is fairly strong here, so we can take this down. But some of these are not so strong, so we're just going to leave them and let them grow. still coming in here and thinning. We've got a lot of thick growth here. Which is good and bad. It makes the tree look really good, but it also makes it difficult to prune and plan for the coming year's growth. Okay, we're close to finishing this branch here. We may come back in later and do some more thinning by hand here, removing old needles. And you can tell which ones are the old ones, the really long ones. And you thin things out so the newer growth can get more light and air. And now the first branch is looking about right. It's going to have a little bit more to do with it later on. So, let's go around and take a look at the back branch now. And again, we've got this growth coming upward way too much. Now, as much as I'd love to chop this back down and get it lower and shorter, I've got to leave some greenery for this year's growth to come out of. And that's kind of the penalty for having really healthy growth from last year. As when we cut back into it, we've got to cut back far enough to keep our growth nice and compact. The back branch is nice and healthy. And that's because we kept the back of the tree towards the sun for part of the year. So we can pull a lot of our older needles here. Get those off of that branch too. And we're going to remove a candle here. And pull out a few needles, rather than just cut here, because that's what we need to do to balance the vigor of the tree. Alright, our pine has been thinned out considerably. We've removed all of the longest candles and any candles that directed growth in a place where we didn't want the pine to grow. So we'll do a slow 360 here and show you what we've done. You'll notice that just in general the branches look thinner, and this is so that we can get light and air in and get good even growth on all the branches. near future, I expect to repot this pine. We're very close to the point where we can no longer do that, but we're still safe for this year because it's not completely out of dormancy yet. So we'll do that and we'll put some photos on the website after that's done. Thank you for watching, folks.